tutorial. I am Ronnette Branham here to offer you biblical strategies for effective teaching. And I have two special guests, Ronnette Powell and her daughter, Destiny. How are you today?
Hello. We're good.
I'm so excited about this podcast, not just because we have the same name, but because I love what you're doing. I'm looking at all those puppets back there. And yes, and so I'm really excited. So you want to tell us a little bit about what you do, and then we can just go from there.
Absolutely. I'm a teacher, a kindergarten teacher at the moment. I taught first grade. I've taught second grade. I've taught in Newark, New Jersey. That's where I started. I am a native of Newark. Hey.
Oh, really?
Every day. And about 20 years ago, I relocated to Southern New Jersey, and I've been teaching in Willingboro for the last 18 years in Willingboro. Altogether, I've been teaching 28 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, time for retirement, huh?
Hey, well, listen, I can't say retirement because it's not my call, right?
Yeah.
More, I'm going. If he says pause, if he says transition to something different. So I don't even know what that word means right now.
Right. Yeah, because retirement, when we say retirement, we mean leaving our field right here or our position and then going off, and always because you're young. So you're going to do something else. You're not going to just be going to Florida. So yeah, I have family from Newark. My grandfather, he's from Georgia, but when they came from Georgia, they went up that way. So I have a lot of Branhams up in Newark area. So yeah, we are from my family. I have family from that area.
Yes. So I mean, I'm enjoying it. I'm still enjoying the ride. I would say pre-COVID, if you'd have asked me would I retire in 5 years prior to COVID, I would have said yes.
Yeah.
But now post-COVID, God has opened so many doors, shown me so much, and expanded the vision that I don't know what that word means anymore.
Yes, because it's not what we're used to, retirement. It's just a transition into something else, or your next step, your next, I don't know, vehicle or wherever you're going, because you're going someplace different.
Absolutely.
So yeah. And so what is it that you do with these puppets? I saw a little bit, but I never got to see a show. I see your posts like that. I see.
Yes, I'm glad you asked because I would have to start from the beginning. I'm a kindergarten teacher, right? And we said that starting the show. And one of the things happened when COVID hit. We went to work like normal, and on a Friday, we got an email and then phone calls saying we couldn't return. We were snatched out of the classroom. No prep, nothing. It was like, okay, how do I tell my children? How do I explain this to them?
Yeah.
So with that, my daughter Destiny and I wrote our first book, right? Because I felt like if I had that question of how do I explain it, then of course other teachers might have that same question. Parents have that question. So let's answer it. So we wrote our first book, which is Cory Hates COVID.
Oh, I love it.
Now, this was the first book that we wrote. Now, one of the things that I have to say is I've always wanted to be an author. I've always wanted to write a book. That's something I've wanted to do. I just didn't know about what.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right? When COVID hit, I felt like the Holy Spirit said, this is your time. Let's answer these questions. And this was the first book. So Cory, this guy here, that is our featured puppet, but he's also the main character in the book.
Okay.
And we use Cory because my children already knew Cory. I would take Cory out and do, impromptu puppeteering. Or they knew Nana. Nana would come out and she would do Black history for the children. She would introduce Rosa Parks. She'd been on the bus with, she had been through it all because she's seen the struggle, because Nana is the wisdom puppet of our company and of our classroom.
Oh. Mommy, how old is Nana?
Nana is 92.
Oh, 92? Okay. 92. And she still has all that wisdom, huh?
I love her. I love her. She's a combination of my mother and my grandmother's personalities.
Oh, okay.
So that's who she is. And with that, we wrote the first book, right? And then people would say, "Oh, can you read your book?" We were on the news, we were on different
Oh,
podcasts.
really?
It's been an amazing journey with this book.
Um,
So it's been, I didn't expect it. I didn't know it was going to go to what it is now. But when people would say, "Oh, can you read your book? Do a read aloud?" We would
mhm.
read. It made sense to
Yeah.
merge the book, and then from that we started doing the show, and then we kept writing. We kept writing. So with every issue, the next book was Cory Beats Bullying. That's our second book. We built.
I'm no, you don't understand. I'm like, I love series, and to be able to do that, that's amazing. And with the puppets, I used to teach preschool, and when I brought the puppets out, they loved it. So go ahead, go ahead. I just had to stop because once you
Yeah.
start going, I'm loving that.
It's been, like I said, I didn't expect any of this. And I have to say this first with one yes.
Hmm.
You tell God yes.
Yeah.
He prompts us and he gives us those promptings to do something. The name of your show is Educators with Oil. There's a difference between an educator and a
Uh-huh.
one, because we get something, we get an edge up because God knows these children better than we ever could, because he
Right.
assigned that parent, he assigned them to that family, and then he assigned them to us for that period of time. So when we're teaching in the classroom and we're engaging with our students, that oil makes it easier. Not easy,
No. Yeah.
but easier. So when I was writing the first book, Cory Hates COVID, I'm like, okay, Lord, let's go, let's do this. And then we got, of course, the activity book that goes with it. That's the one that the children read the book, and now they do activities, crossword puzzles, games, sight words, journaling, and they'll see Cory again. How do I wash my hands? Let's sequence that. Let's fill in missing letters. What's alike? What's different? Let's write our thoughts on COVID. So these two are partner books.
And
Then
that's for kindergartners,
this is
kindergarten, first grade.
first grade, yes.
Okay.
And then the third thing we did was, this is the first, this was the second. The third thing we did was we went in the studio and we recorded the song Cory Hates COVID. The goal of that was to reach every learning style. So whether you're auditory, whether you're visual, whether you're kinesthetic and need to do something,
I know.
all those, right? Then, you ready? I know
Yes.
you ain't ready. I ain't even ready. So the fourth thing we did was now package those four components into a show. So now they're reading Cory, they're dancing with Cory, they're playing games with Cory, they're engaging with Cory, and they're creating an experience around whatever that topic is, whether it's Cory Hates COVID, our second book, Cory Beats Bullying. The third book is Cory Conquers COVID. This one is about the vaccination.
Okay.
And how to deal with the fear of needles. So our third book was I would say a sequel to COVID. So these two
Okay. Yeah. Is that a hardcover?
Yes, each book is in hardcover.
Oh, because the first one I thought it was not. And then when you held that one up, all right. Okay.
Yes, it's they all come in hardcover, soft cover.
Huh?
Yeah, both versions. They all have a workbook. And then our newest book, I have to share, and then I'll be quiet because I talk a lot. But
No, that comes with the name. I don't care what anybody says. That's your name. You have to own it.
Can you share about the fourth book? I'll let you do it. Go ahead.
Our newest book, that's the activity book.
Oh, you're right. This is the activity book. Sorry. Here's the newest book.
Our newest book is called Cory Shares a Secret, a guide to mental health for children.
Yeah.
And it teaches
Go ahead.
it teaches us about when Cory's friend was going through a mental phase where he wanted to
don't tell the whole secret.
Oh.
So he's going.
Oh yeah. Okay, you got it. I got it. This is new. You haven't put it out yet?
We just put it out a month ago. Cory Shares a Secret.
Oh, okay. All
Okay.
right. And I kind of can guess, like his friends telling him things and he's okay. I get it. I love it.
Thank you.
No, and I know, I already know you told preschool. I mean, kindergarten. I said preschool. I told preschool over 10 years. So the puppets are a connection where they inspire the students. They get the students involved and they're excited to be a part of it. So how did you know? I know God gives us things, but you didn't have to listen. You could have still been trying to figure things out. How did you know that me and my daughter are going to do this thing? We're going to write a book. How did you know?
Well, the first book, Cory Hates COVID, that was a spark. I didn't know that there were more books. I didn't know there was more coming. I didn't even know there was a workbook. That none of these things were on the radar, right?
Oh.
And that's why the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, right? We are ordered. So my pastor taught us before that steps are a series of decisions.
Yeah.
Right? Those are the steps. So when you think, okay, God, if I do this, then he shows you a little bit more. And then he shows you a little bit more. And then now it's here and more. Now I see there's way more than I see what God is doing and I'm excited about those things. But then with every issue that we are combated with as teachers in the classroom, we see it head on. We see mental crisis. We know what that looks like.
Right.
We know what their behaviors exhibit. We know how they melt down or they withdraw. So I feel like our job as teachers is not just to know, but to also confront.
Yes.
And equip. Because we can't just say, oh, this child is having a problem.
Right.
Okay, go figure it out. I'm glad they in third grade now because I'm done. No. Right?
Yeah.
While they're assigned to us, while they're in our care, we're not just educators of reading math, science, and social studies.
No.
We're educators for life. We're educators for their life goals. So it was just that first yes. It was once you say yes and you get into a habit of trusting God more, you get into the habit of being obedient more.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because now that's where that trust comes. It's almost like if someone tells you, listen, I'm gonna walk you across the street, but you gotta trust me. Initially, you're like, whoa, yo, I don't know you.
Right.
I don't know where this is going. All right, let's go. And you take those initial steps. When you get to the other side and they say, okay, now we're gonna cross the highway.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, you did it the first time.
Yes.
Right? You did it before, you'll do it again. And that's what I'm learning. I'm learning that I trust you. I trust you. I trust the interactions and the engagements you provide, Lord.
But
I trust the supply. Right? I'm not looking to be rich. I don't care about that because that's so temporary. But I trust the supply because when you meet my needs, then I can meet the needs of others.
I'm telling people that I'm learning that. How about you know things? We're not kids. We know things. We knew it. Yeah. It happened in our life. When we did something, God provided. We knew it. And then all of a sudden, it's like new. Yeah. Are you kidding me? It's like new. And then I'm hearing little voices. Look, I told somebody yesterday, I came in, I always take my keys and throw them in my bag. It's not even a purse, it's a bag. Yeah. And I took my keys. I heard so clear, put your keys on your desk. You don't know if they're going to have a shutdown or not. You're going to need to lock your doors. I put my keys on. 15 minutes later, I kid you not, we got an announcement that said, we're going to have a trial lockdown. And I'm like, man, for one thing, they announced it. That just was like a little confirmation because they didn't have to announce it. They could have said it. Right. And then it just was like, all right, God, I heard you. I see what you did right there. Yeah. And it was because I could have been looking for my keys. And you know, if you have a bag and you throw your keys in it, you just throw them. You got to dig. And you have to have 2 doors locked immediately. The lights now and the kids in the closet. Right. I was ready. I knew it. And then I was like, okay, all right, I got this. Thank you. Because I got it. So that step, even this podcast. And I watched, you don't know, I wanted to do it. I was a nervous wreck. Then I asked Shanae to help me And she said yes, because I didn't know how to start it. I knew what I wanted to do. I know how to start it, right? So I wanted to have conversations, that it be conversational. So then she said yes. She said yes for 13 episodes or something. Then she was like, you got it, you good. I'm out of here. And I have other stuff to do. But I was nervous. And because I said, okay, I'm gonna do it, I put my foot for it. Then yesterday's episode that aired, that was the highest viewed episode. I mean, I turned open up YouTube, and there were stars saying this is the #1 episode. And I mean, okay, all right, okay, I got you. And then I see other things, because I see this, I want to go live, and I'm not ready to go live, but this is live enough for me right now. So maybe December or something, like I don't know, but I have December in mind. But then I want to do with like 4 people. And we're discussing, because I have something, when you're talking about that, being educating the whole child and being a support to the whole child. I have something in me right now where I work, the children are below grade level all across the board.
Right.
I'm not happy with that.
Right.
I know people go to private schools. I know people in my district where I live. They are excelling. What's the difference? Right. There's something happening, and I'm working with everybody. People, I don't care if they get upset with me. I'm like, we're going to do this. My class is going to be an example, because God said these kids can learn. If I take one of these kids out and put them in this private school, they're going to excel. Why? Something we got to do. So that, yes, it sparked a whole other, yes. I'm not even the same person. I may be who I was years ago, and then I kind of shut down. But now I'm who I was, but I'm not the same person I was in June. I'm not that, because of saying, I'm going to do this.
That's right.
And
That's right.
I'm loving what you're saying. This is what we've been talking about.
But Jessie wants to be excused. She has to get to some assignments. She has to
work on. Okay.
So did you want to say goodnight to everybody before you go? Because I promised her if she started the show with us that she could go ahead and finish her work. Go ahead.
I'm so glad she did. She took the time for us. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for letting me be on this podcast tonight and for acknowledging me and my mom.
Thank you. You're welcome. And thank you for coming.
Thanks.
Okay, have a good night.
All right, Des. So we're having her as my partner has been a wonderful journey as well, because
I was going to ask you that.
It's teaching her tenacity, stick to itness, sensitivity, performing arts, watching her engage with the children. When I don't know, seed planting is when you do the beginning stages of a thing, and then you may or may not see the fruit of it.
Right.
And as teachers, we do it all the time. But once God waters it and increases it and multiplies it, I may never I hope to see it. But if I don't, it's the work that God is doing. And I'm loving this, what I'm watching her do. I'm watching her engage with children. I'm watching her pull them out of the audience and say, come on, let's have a good time.
Oh, that's you.
Oh my gosh. And in the cast, we haven't even talked about the cast.
I'm looking at your whole outfit. Yes, yes. So I know one person. I don't know him. I seen him when he was a kid, but I know his mom.
Yes.
And so I saw him. I saw him perform or something years ago. So when you said it, I was like, yeah, he's a performer. And how did you get your cast?
Well, initially, I started when I first went out to perform. We have a DJ who travels with us, so we have a DJ. We had a cast of 2 children that I used to be their teacher, and their parents work with me. So initially, it was 3 or 4 of my students, ages 12, 8. Another one was 11, and my daughter. And then we had 2 co-hosts that were grown-ups to kind of keep it moving. But now those children are involved. They hung out for a minute, but they're children. So now they're in boxing, they're in this. And I'm like, what do we do now? Right? It's almost like he started sending people my way. He started sending, friends would say to me, oh, I know somebody. what they do. And I would talk to them. They're like, yeah, I want to be in it. And now I have a cast of almost 11 people.
Really?
And I have 3 DJs, and all of them, in other words, when you have an engagement, I'll shoot out a text. Boom. We've been booked for this date, this time, this location. Who's available?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then they let me know I'm available. I can jump in. Whatever DJ is available, that's who goes with us. And then we rotate it the next show, who's available for this date. So that everybody's getting paid, everybody's getting work, everybody's performing, and we're doing what we do and what we love to do. So.
And what do you do? Because you have puppets and people.
Yes.
They perform together.
Yes, we call them co-hosts. So 2 of my hirees, they are puppeteers as well.
Okay.
So they go behind the puppet theater with me, and we perform and we do the puppeteering. The co-hosts roll with the kids and keep them engaged. And when it's game time, they invite them to come up and talk with Nana and Cory and the rest of the puppets. When it's time for the brain breaks or movements, because they're children, right? We want to build it where we keeping them engaged. So we have a DJ who plays the music, he does sound effects, he does, I mean, it's 3D. It's 3D. It is.
So did you write your own music? You said you recorded a song.
Yes, we have 3 songs now.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm just proud of you.
Thank you.
Say the other Ronnette, Ronnie and the Ronnettes. Okay. I don't know if people know who that is, but
Ronnettes, the Ronnettes and the Ronnettes.
Yeah, Ronnettes and the Ronnettes. Yes.
That's right, ma'am. I'm like a floor, because each book has its own activity book. It's a 4-part program. So you have the story book, you have the activity book where they play games, then you have the CD, right? So every has its own musical song that goes with it. That's the vaccination song.
Okay.
And we have Cory Hates COVID, and then Cory Conquers COVID has a song. And then the newest book, we have a song. We're going in the studio next week to record the new song for the new book.
Okay, who's singing? Who's singing? You?
I'll
really?
Say, yeah, it's funny. It's really funny because Destiny and I go in the studio, right? And then our producer's in there with us. So when I'm singing, he knows how to layer it and do what he does. So it sounds like it's Nana singing sometimes. Or sometimes Cory will sing, and that's Cory over there, right? Or then sometimes it's my voice that I'm talking to you now in, and then Destiny's voice. But when you listen to it, I wrote the song, I'm performing the song, but when I'm listening, I'm cracking up because it sounds like it's 3 and 4 different pieces.
Yes. So how do we get that? How do we get this package? How do we get just say you want to start with one book and one whole, can we buy puppets too?
Well, the puppets,
books.
Just the books. Yeah,
just the books.
My baby's here, my friends and everything.
That's the new part of it, ordering those puppets.
But the way I have it set up is that the books are available. The activity books are available online, right? So our website, www.nettieandnana.com.
Okay.
You can also get them on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. So those are 3 ways to purchase the books. The music is on Spotify, it's on Amazon Music, it's on all those, on YouTube. So it's on all the music channels, right?
Okay.
Book us for a show, it's the same thing. You go on our website, the tabs at the top where it says book a show, one is motivational speaking, one is workshops. So we offer different things where if you want to write a book, I offer a workshop for that. Because sometimes it's that hesitation, or I don't know where to start, I don't know where to begin. Well, that's what I'm for. That's what I do. You know, I believe that every person has a book inside them. Every single person, because we all have experiences or things that we've gone through, survived, or that we are experts in, that there's somebody waiting like hungry fish. Please tell me, but you haven't written the book. You haven't written it. Right. So my job is to channel those things, guide the way, show them the steps to take, and let's get these books published. Let's go.
Okay. I had Shanae, who left, she was my co-host at the beginning. She wrote a book, and I got it. It's on Amazon, and then she's I don't know what, I just spoke to her today because she's retiring, not retired. She's changing careers.
Yes.
And so she's doing that. And she's into, I don't know if she's writing a new book or she's getting this book published in a different way, because you can actually purchase her book on Amazon.
Right.
But she's doing something else. I just saw her today. And then she knew she had it right. And she knew, and this being on this podcast inspired her to finish it and going that when you say that first yes, there's other yeses that you already have. And you just, that helps you to step out in everything, your whole purpose. Your whole purpose is not to stand in front of a classroom and teach. Your whole purpose, you say you see the children. I had a little boy in 2 days, a little boy yesterday. I'm looking at him, he's not answering questions. He's just like, and I had a call on him and I'm like, are you okay? Are you feeling okay? What's going on? He was like, I'm okay. He was sick. He had to go to the nurse. He was like, I need to go home.
Yes.
Today, the other little boy, he's like answering everything all day. Yes. And I said, am I boring you? Because I'm not boring. And I'm like, am I boring? Are we boring? Are we going too slow for you? Right. I thought we were going too slow for him because he was just by lunchtime, I promise you, he's thrown up because he was sick.
Yes.
I didn't think. I'm looking at everybody and I'm thinking because he can catch everything and move, like maybe I'm going too slow for him and he doesn't know how to express that. Right. And I didn't look in his face well enough because he had on a mask too.
Yes.
So he had on a mask, huh?
What grade?
At 2nd grade. Okay. So they're young. Yes. I say so much, I didn't know that, I forgot. And so they're 2nd grade, so they can express themselves, but sometimes they don't know what's wrong with them. They know they're just not feeling it, you know? And so they were, and it's bad because they sit right next to each other. I don't know, one got the other one sick. I don't know. But they both 2 days in a row was something wrong with them. And I knew it. And I'm like, I knew something was wrong. He has a mask. All I see is his eyes and he's looking and he's just like, I said, are we going too slow? Right. Are you feeling well? Then a little while later, he was like, he had to get to the nurse. He didn't make it to the trash can. Oh, so we have like 10 minutes left. And I love what you do. One more time, what did you say? How can we contact you?
Absolutely. I'm at www.nettie, that's NETTIE, and AND, Nana, NANA, .com. So www.nettieandnana.com. That's my website. So if you go there, all the links are there. You can click on, you can book a show, you can order books, you can book us for motivational speaking. You also can book us for a workshop and we will come out and we will do what we do. Okay.
And you know, that's going to be on the credits at the end. When I add it, it's going to be all there. So I'm so glad you came. And when I thought about talking to you, I know I didn't say a scripture, any of that, but I know I have one really quick. It says, start children off on the way they should go. And even when they are old, they will not turn from it. And that's something that I believe because I'm proof of it. I'm proof that I'm not saying I didn't go in the wrong direction for a little bit or sometimes, but my heart was still there. I would be out and I would know, like, no, certain ways I didn't go, you know, certain ways. And I'm not saying that just because you went a certain way, God wasn't working on you. You know, He's still, but I believe that started young.
And I think that's the goal, right? Because what I'm learning through puppeteering is that we're getting them young. We're getting their attention while they're young. And when I go, we've done a show at my school, right? So some of the students, my school is pre-K3, pre-K4, and then kinder.
Oh, okay.
The show last year, this little girl she was in pre-K4. And I see her every day. Whenever she sees me, where's Cory? Cory. Like feel like they know him. They feel like there's a connection to him. And I see that a lot. Like I'll be in the store and the Department of Health picked up the Cory Conquers COVID book, the one about the vaccination.
Oh, really? That's nice.
Our children, I just felt like it wasn't fair to stick my babies, all of our babies, with needles and not have a conversation.
Right.
Why are we doing this? How does it work in my body? What do I do? I'm scared of a needle. That's what that book is for.
Right.
Things in child-friendly language. And so with that, we've done a lot of shows for the Department of Health. Like everything from Camden, we've gone all the way to Cape May. We've been in Passaic, we've been in Irvington, and we've done the shows on bullying, teaching them what bullying looks like, how to stand together against bullying, because a bully thrives with an audience. But if that audience is dismantled and we stand together, we changing the world, because now we realize, you know, we're not doing this. And we're teaching our babies that when they're little. Yeah. And I think creating that experience with literature, that's our subtitle. We bring literature to life. We create an experience so that now they've seen the show. They've connected with Cory and Nana and the gang. They remember that, and now they have the book. They can read it over and over. They can do the activities and now connect with that. They have the music. They can sing it because they had an experience. We don't forget experiences. We know how experiences made us feel. We know the impact it had on us. We connect with it. It would have smelled, right? We'll remember. And that's what the goal is. And the shows must go on because we got more shows coming.
Yes.
Character education is the goal.
Our
goal is to teach our children social emotional wellness, character education, so that they can thrive as people, not just know 1 + 1 is 2 or 4 is 8, but no, I care about you. Are you okay? How can I help you? Because we want good people. Good people, they don't have to be the smartest. Right? Because whatever you need, you'll get it educationally. We can always teach 4 and 4 is 8. Right. Concrete. But what we can't, I feel sometimes we're missing as a society is that we're an iPad, Speedy Gonzalez, give it to me now, I don't want to work for it. Let's go generation. And I feel we're losing the sensitivity to humanism. Right. And that's true. And that's what I feel God is calling me to do, to reconnect our children to what matters, people. We matter. Our social, emotional health, we got to be grounded, we got to be centered. And when we're grounded and centered, then it radiates and we help others become grounded and centered. Right. Yes. I like that, because that kind of goes with what my goal is. My goal is, I'm on a different end of it, where I want them to be confident and feel confident in knowing they can learn what they set out to learn. There's nothing that, if you want to know it and you're open, you can learn. So that's where I am. I'm showing my students, not my students, other faculty. I don't care what you say they don't know. I don't want to know what they don't know. What are you going to do about it? We're going to do something about this. We're going to help these students feel confident enough for their brains to open up, and they're ready. That's where I am. So when you work on their heart, I'm gonna work on their heart mind thing. So when we feel welcome and comfortable, we're gonna get it. That's right. But there's a way. And so I promise you, this is my goal this year, that my students are going to be that statistic in the other direction. Right. And because after all, we're seed planters, right? We're gardeners. Right. And I love that. Now, I think you probably would say the same, that when you've taught a long period of time, those come back and like, I remember you. Right. You did X. I mean, they call you out. Like I remember we used to give out points, and I remember my name, your goodie jar on your desk. I'm like, you remember that? Yeah. So we're seed planters, and we may not see the whole tree. We may not see but just keep on planting. And I know that's why I love children. I have something for children. Like, I want children to be children. I want them to be able to have that space to be children. I always have. That's something I just always had. Somebody
to be, I think that came from, when I was in 3rd grade, I went to school in New Brunswick for a little while, and they had big brother and big sister program. So they, through the college records, and so they would come and the teachers would say, oh, I think this child, so my teacher chose me. And then she would come on Saturdays, pick me up, play with me, take me to, one thing she took me to that I couldn't, it was, she took me to a haunted house one time, and now it terrified me to this day. I hate haunted houses, but she would play Monopoly, Twister. She would take me to the movies. She was that. She wanted me to be able to be a child.
Yes.
You know, and that was what it's been planted in me.
Yes.
So I get this connection that you have. You're connecting with the students. I love it.
Thank you. And the classroom without walls is expanding.
Oh, that's right.
I'm loving that. I'm loving that. The 20 in front of me, I get to have them for that year. But then there is no limit. There is no ceiling. Keep going. There's more books. Our next book coming out it will be in time for Black History Month.
Okay.
January. So of course that's a whole CD. That's going to be a whole workbook. That's going to be a whole puppet show, because we want our children. Multiculturalism is just what it says. Multi.
Right.
Centering the African American population of children and adding value to who they are based off of their history.
Right.
You know, them knowing, oh, guess what? The same blood runs.
I can't hear you. Something happens. Yeah. Oh, we have less than 1 minute. I can't hear you. Oh, that's.
Sorry, my
I
signal.
hear you now.
Okay.
So less than 1 minute. We're gonna have to come back. You know what? I'm looking. I know what I want to say, and then I'm gonna call you right back.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming to Educators with Oil. Thanks for viewing us. Ronnette, I'm loving everything you do. Not just your name, but I'm loving everything. I love you said the 4 parts of every book, every little episode. I don't know, what did you call it? 4 parts of every
educational plan.
Oh.
Education, puppeteering, purpose. And to God be the glory. I thank you for this time and for having us. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And remember to like, share, and subscribe to Educators with Oil.